Today I am sharing unique hidden gem tank and cami patterns that are sure to inspire you. From beginner to advanced, this collection has something for everyone. So let's get to it. Hello everyone. Welcome back. My name is Christie of Christie Archer Designs, and this is my knitting podcast. Today I wanted to share with you some hidden gem tank tops, cami, sleeveless tops that are fantastic and really do not get enough love. So with that said, I will preface this particular video and say that not all of these patterns are size inclusive, but I still wanted to share them because I feel like many smaller designers don't have they're not making enough. They're doing this on the side or whatever, and so it's really not financially feasible to pay to have somebody grade these. But they still, maybe if they got more love, the designers could take that next step and make a larger size. That being said, I am a designer who does struggle with getting all of my pattern sizes tested. I do try to keep mine size inclusive, but as a small designer, if someone ever reached out to me and said, can you help me? I need this in a smaller size or a larger size, I would be thrilled to help you. And I'm sure a lot of these other designers feel the same way. So all of that out of the way, just know some of these may not be size inclusive, but I think that if it is something you love, reach out to the designer and they may very well be able to help you with that. Okay, so actually, I had pulled this entire collection together, and I was going to shoot it a few days ago, and I put on one of my own sleeveless tops just to be in fitting for the video, and I realized I didn't even include my own pattern. So that was kind of silly of me. So I'm going to share it first off only because I am wearing it. And I would not normally include one of my patterns in these. That just feels kind of weird, but it does fit the theme of this video so well. So I am currently wearing what I have named the Lil Sprout, and I'll pop the information up here on it. This is a top-down sleeveless top, and it has basically basic raglan increases, and the original has yarn overs for your increases. On this particular one, I did yarn overs, but I closed the yarn overs by twisting the stitches. So on this side, I twisted them so that it would look like a left, a make one left, and I twisted these to look like a make one right. So if you wanted the no holes look, just use make one left and make one right, and it will give you the same look as this. And obviously I will not be talking about yarns or anything for the most part, but I will tell you that I made this one out of Cascade Cantata. And this is my first time using this yarn, and I am obsessed with it. I've already gone back to Wool & Co.'s website, which is where I got this, and have already picked out a few more colors. This is a staple in my wardrobe, this top. I live in the desert, and it is fantastic. This yarn is 70% cotton, 30% wool, and the wool is blown into the cotton tubing. It is so easy to work with. Okay, I know you're not here for that, so I will not go on, but let me give you the details of this. Okay, Lil Sprout, by Christie Archer Designs, and this is an 18 stitch gauge, and I used size US size 6 or 4 millimeter for the ribbing top and bottom, and for the stockinette portion I used US 8 or 5 millimeter. And the yardage is anywhere from 360 to 1,080. I do have this one very size inclusive. I feel like it starts at a size 30 and goes up to a size 64. I recommend a negative 1 inch ease up to no more than a 1 inch positive ease. It really does best with the negative ease, but if you're more comfortable with positive, I really wouldn't go more than 1 to 2 inches. It doesn't fit as nicely under the arms. So that is that. And I did want to mention, I also have another one that is just this construction is the same, but I did a texture to it, and it is called the Andalusia. And the Andalusia is all the same information. It just has a texture to it, and I will pop that up as well. So I do hope that if any of these interest you, you will check them out. I did forget to mention that, of course, I will link the bundle to this particular collection down below, and I will also link my bundle to all of my favorited sleeveless tops. But this particular bundle is going to be just the ones that I talk about today. Okay, next up, and I'm just going the order that I've got these in my bundle. There's no other particular order. I'm just taking them as they pop up. The next one is called Ziggy, and it is by Caledonian Dreamin', or Caledonian Dreamin', I'm not sure. This is done out of a fingering weight. And I forgot to say both of those others are worsted weight. The gauge is 26 stitches, and the needle recommended size is 2.5 or a 3 millimeter. Yardage is anywhere from 150 to 400 yards. Let's see, I think that that is referring to the cropped version. She shows it cropped and long, but that yardage sounds like it would be for the cropped version. Her sizes are, she has 9 sizes, and it goes from a 31.5 inch up to a 50 inch. And let's see, it is in English and French. I was trying to see. Okay, it is a sleeveless summer tank top knitted in the round from the bottom up. Has a chevron pattern, so you're doing increases and decreases. It's finished with a straight neckline and ribbed straps for a neat finish. Contrasting colors alternate to give a retro look, or you can use a solid color. And I did see somebody that had done it in a solid, and it was really cute like that as well. Okay, on to the next. This one's really neat because it is 3 patterns in one. This is called the Four Seasons Camisole, and it is by Celine Phaeton. And this is a fingering weight, 33 stitches, so I would think it's more of a light fingering. So knitting for, and it does say knitting for olive in here. Senna's Garn 10. Yeah, so this is going to be more of a light fingering. And the needles used for this are US 1 or a 2.25 millimeter, a US 2.5, 3 millimeter, and a US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter. It also says there is a hook used in this, so there must be some kind of crochet finishing to it. And it says 2.5 millimeter for that. 10 sizes, starting with let's see, I think it has negative ease. Give me a moment and let me see if I can find the finished. Okay, the finished garment measurement circumference is 23¼ inches up to 58¼ inches. And let's see what the negative ease is. Oh, it varies from style to style. So one of them is just a regular, I think it's like a 4x2 rib, I think, or maybe more than that, I'm not sure. And then one of them has cables, and then one of them has lace. So depending on which one you choose as to how you select the negative ease, and that I'm sure is all included. It talks about it in the listing as well, but I'm sure it gives more detailed information about that in the pattern. Okay, Four Seasons camisole. Next up is the top Amapola, and this is by Gabriella Tremont, and this is done in a sport weight, 20 stitch gauge, and needle size is US 5, 3.75 millimeter, and yardage is anywhere from 256 to 582 yards. This one is more cropped. So if you wanted to make it longer, you would need more than that. It comes in 7 sizes, and did not bring my information in my calculator in here. So the finished measurements are given in centimeters. I apologize for that. I may pop it up here, the inch range for you, but I will say it goes from 72 centimeters to 126 centimeters. And it does say ease of a 0 to 3 centimeters positive ease. So 0 to 3 centimeters positive ease. Okay. This is a beautiful little cami. I'm sure it's worked from the bottom up. Yes, bottom up lace cami with cute little tied straps, which is always a plus because the straps tend to stretch over time. And so you can adjust over time. But this would just be so sweet under a blazer. Of course, perfect for the summertime, but it would be a great transition piece in the fall or in the spring. Wear it with a cardigan or a blazer or a denim jacket. Would just be so cute. So that one is really special. I do like that. All right, next up, I like all of these, but anyway, this one is a lot of fun. I do not know how to pronounce this, so I'm going to attempt it once and I will pop it up here. It looks to me like it is Lorens, and it is by Sandrine C. Knit Studio, and it is a DK garment with a gauge of 20 stitches. Needle sizes are US 4, US 6, which is 3.5 millimeter and 4 millimeter. And yardage is 437 to 897. This is probably, once again, a bottom up. Nope, it starts with the front yoke. Okay, so it has straps that go down to the back. It's straight across in the back and then comes up in the front, and it has these big bold stripes that just really lend beautifully for the summertime. It's shown here in this gorgeous navy and kind of an ecru color, and it just screams summer. Again, this one would be a lot of fun for, I guess all of these would be great for transitional weather. So if you're going from summer to fall right now, or looking ahead to fall, these would be great to cast on and still get plenty of wear for before the year is up. And if you're going from winter into spring, you've got a lot of time that you would really be able to enjoy wearing this year. and then of course years beyond. So let's see, it has 9 finished sizes, and the size range is 31.5 inches to 56.75 inch, and it has a suggested ease of 0 to 2.5 negative inches. So negative ease. And I just think this is precious. I believe those straps, yes, the straps appear to be, maybe not. They're either double knit, or I believe they're double knit just from the way it looks. So yeah, I like that a lot. All right, next up is the Moonglow top by Zanette Knits, and this is just a beautiful lace sleeveless top. I wouldn't call it a tank, it is more of a sleeveless top. The way they have it done in this beautiful white with a denim jacket and a long maxi skirt in whatever color makes you happy would just be stunning. Okay, so this has yarns held together, a light fingering and a lace giving you a DK weight, and it is a 20 stitch gauge with US 6, US 2, which is a 4mm and a 2.75 millimeter. The yardage is, and this one looks to be a full length, 612 yards to 1,318. 9 sizes available. And some of these are free. I forgot to mention that. Let's see. Construction is top down, angled shoulders, decreases in the lace pattern guide the fabric's direction, creating the rounded neckline without any additional shaping, making it straightforward to follow. That's really neat. You can customize the length to your preference. There is a video on this. I think that's really neat. This has a link to a video that talks all about it, so check that out. It says 9 sizes that go from 35.5 inches to 67.5 inches, and it is designed to be worn with 2 to 4 inches of positive ease. So that one has a good many sample photos too, a lot actually. But yeah, that one is beautiful. Okay, Moonglow top. Next up, this is a designer that I really like, and I don't feel like she gets enough love. This top is called Low, and it is by Laura Ayler, who is Fogbound Knits. And this is, I think this one could be considered more of a tank. This is a DK weight, 19 stitch gauge, using US 6, 5, and 4 needles, which is 4mm, 3.75mm, and 3.5 millimeter. And the yardage uses 485 to 970 yards. And the sizes are extra small up to 2XL, and the bust measurements are 32.4 inches up to 61.9 inches. Wanted to see if it says anything about. It says for best fit, choose the size closest to your high bust measurement. And I find that on tank tops or anything that is sleeveless, it is best to use your upper chest measurement instead of your full bust, because you will get a better fit under the arms. So I'm glad she said that. That is a very good tip. And this does have an A-line flare to it. has the garter trim, which I think is really neat. And this one is really neat because under the arms, the garter there are short rows worked to make the garter not quite so bulky under the arms. It gives a beautiful finished look, and I'm sure the fit is very, very good. I know I've made quite a few of Laura's patterns, and the fit is always just fantastic. Okay, this one I almost didn't even see in the Ravelry patterns. I wish the designer had used a better first photo, because the photo that is used, you can't even see the pattern. This pattern is really, really neat. I've actually used this concept in one of my shawl patterns, the stitch design, and it is so much fun to do. So this is a true tank top. I love the fit of it. And then it has these textured, I'm gonna make sure I do an up close so you can see these textures that create these stripes, and they are just so much fun to make. And her color combo here is just brilliant. She has this neon orange with, I believe, to me it looks, maybe it's not, it's either navy blue or black. I think navy blue would just be stunning with that neon orange. And then it has an ever so slightly speckled yarn for the main color. Just a beautiful, beautiful pattern. This is worked, trying to see, worked from the top down, features crisp stripes created with playful mini baubles. Maybe it is a little bit different. It looks like it's the same. I have a pattern that I have named Black Pearls. It looks like the same stitch to me, but it may be slightly different. You begin by knitting the back, then the front, join in the round, clean folded hems at the neckline, armholes, and waist. Okay, so sizes 1 through 13, finished bust circumference of 31 inch up to 79 inches. So this one is extremely size inclusive, and it is intended to be worn with 0 to 4 inches of positive ease. Again, I recommend on these kind of things to go closer to your bust measurement and use your high bust measurement to for your measurement. And that is just such a fun pattern. I really do like the Speedway tank. Okay, next up is the Bell tank top. And this is by Mabel Knitting. And it is a DK weight pattern, 20 stitch gauge, using US 5 and US 2, which is 3.75 millimeter and 2.75 millimeter. Sizes available 2XS up to 4XL. Sizes are 25.5 inches up to 49 inches with a recommended ease of 4.3 inches. So negative 4.3 inches is recommended. Choose your closest bust minus 4.3 inches. Okay. And she gives lots of information on that, so definitely check that one out. All right. The next one I have had in my favorites for a very long time, and it is so cute, so different. This is called the Pleated Top by Charlotte Tongue, and this is just a nice flowy, wear it with a pair of, I would love to wear it with a pair of fitted capri jeans with a rough rolled it up cuff, and it would just be so cute. So this is done out of light fingering. This is going to be a commitment pattern for sure. 25 stitches in 3x1 rib. And the needles used are 2.5, 3, and 4 US, or 3, 3.25 and 3.5 millimeter. Yardage used is about 711 to 1,094 yards. It is a top down. You can choose seamed or seamless method, and let's see, work straight down until desired length. I was trying to see, okay, bust measurements are given in centimeters once again, so I'll pop up the information in inches as well. It is 41 centimeters to 65 centimeters, and it is recommended to have 10 to 20 centimeters. Okay, this is the bust width. I thought that sounded very odd. So these numbers would be doubled. So 82 circumference to 130 centimeters circumference, and then I'll pop that up in inches here for you. So that is just such a fun top. I really would like to make that sometime. I really want to make all of these, but time. All right, next up we have the Evelyn top, and this is by Johanna Garish. And this is we've all seen the Camisole number 9. We all love the Camisole number 9. This is very similar, but it's ribbed. So the fit on this is just going to be amazing. This is once again fingering. I would love to see somebody come up, and maybe this is something I will do, come up with a same design, but in a sport weight. The bell top, I believe, was DK. So we just need somebody to come up with a sport weight version, and we would pretty much have all the versions, well, worsted, DK worsted, whatever. Anyway, I digress. So this is fingering weight, 28 stitches on a US 2.5, which is a 3 millimeter, and the yardage is approximately 820 to 1,367 yards. Sizes available are extra small up to 4XL, and it is cropped, so you may have to add yardage if you're wanting a full longer length. It's worked top down in a 2x2 rib. The back is worked first, then the front, joined in the round. Typical construction. This one is shown in stripes, but you could do it in solid. And they use 3 different colors and give you yardage on each. I'm looking for measurements. Again, this is done in centimeters, so I'll pop inches up here. Bust circumference, finished top, 80 to 120 centimeters with a negative ease of 5 to 8 centimeters. We are getting close to the end. Have you been inspired yet? If you have, something I am terrible at saying is, could you please give this video a like? And if you enjoy this type of content, I would love to have you subscribe and chat with me below. Let me know which one of these you are most inspired by and would love to cast on. Okay, so next up is an Alicia Plummer pattern, and it is called Fernwood. And this is just a cute little tank top with a lace edge at the bottom that would be beautiful over dresses. It would be beautiful with a skirt, with jeans. You could dress it up depending on what yarn you use. So many options for this. It says it is an Aran weight, recommended Aran weight with a 16 stitch gauge. This thing would fly off the needles. They suggest a US 10 or 6 millimeter. Yardage is somewhere around 380 to 1,170 yards. And the sizes go from 31 inches up to 73 inches. That is fantastic. It does say it recommends a -2 up to a +2 inch ease. So depending on how you like, it looks like it may have a little bit of an A-line effect to it. Let's see. It does not say, but it appears, and it could just be the yarn that's used, but it does appear that instead of being a straight fit, that it may have a little bit of an A-line. Okay, so that is the Fernwood. This next one I know is free because it is a Pearl Soho. I never see people talk about this one, and it is such a classic, elegant, beautiful design, and that is the Drawstring Camisole. It is a fingering weight gauge, so again, a little bit of a commitment, but you're not doing sleeves or anything. 28 stitch gauge on a US 4, and yardage is somewhere around 730 yards to 1,475. And the sizes available go from 33¼ to 61¼ inches. That is such a beautiful pattern. I would love to see it done. If I did it, I would probably use a necklace for the drawstring part. I just think that would be so neat. It is cute the way they've done a keyhole in the back and it ties into a bow. That is so sweet, but I do think it would be kind of neat to do it with a necklace too. Maybe a little bit of a sparkle thread in there or something to really dress it up. It would just be beautiful. Okay, next up we have Mantaay by Sachiko Bergen, and this is way back when I used to design clothing for children. And this was a very European style concept. We made, or I designed dresses that were made like this top is. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, that takes me back. And it is so fun. So it's basically one front piece that is real wide and one back piece that is real wide, and they have ties on them. So you tie one of them and then you tie the other. You can tie it where it's tied, where you see the tie exposed in the front or in the back, either way you want. And there are so many options for this. You could do the front one color, the back a different color. I mean, there are just so many options for this. It really is a neat design. I loved making dresses like this for my daughter. So this should whip up fairly quick. It is a lot of knitting because the front and the back pieces are so wide, but it's an Aran weight yarn and a 16 stitch gauge. So because of that, it should still whip up pretty quick. The recommended needle is US 10 or 6mm. Yardage is approximately 532 to 912. So yeah, this would whip up pretty quick. This is one of those that is not quite size inclusive. That said, this one would be so easy to modify. You would simply make it wider to go larger or more narrow to go smaller. It would be so easy, but it is written with a finished bust circumference of approximately 32 to 48. That said, there is no exact measurement because you tie it. So it's not like you can really give an exact measurement. I think this one would be a lot of fun. I really do need to do this. But yeah, I've had this one in my favorites for years as well. I really need to make that. Okay, 2 more to go. This next one I have made, and I didn't even think to grab it. I love this. This is another Laura Ayler fog-bound knit pattern, and this is the Sierra. This is very cleverly designed. It has a flare fit to it, but the shaping isn't done on the sides. It's done in the front and back, which gives it a little bit of a fun shaping at the hem. And it is a, think it was a linen stitch or a half linen stitch for the top section. So there's no, you don't have to fuss with any, you don't have to worry about it rolling or anything because it's not stockinette. The bottom is stockinette and the hem does roll a little bit, but because of the shaping, it doesn't roll a lot. So this is a really neat design. This is done out of sport weight with a 23 stitch gauge on US 4 needles. The yardage is approximately 520 to 970 yards. The sizes available are extra small up to 3XL, giving a finished chest circumference of 30.3 inches up to 56.7 inches at the high bust. And again, measure your high bust. That is where you're going to get the best fit for any of these sleeveless tops. This one is worked bottom up. I did not have any issues with the length being long enough. I do have a shorter torso, but you could easily add length if you felt like you needed it. Modeled with a slight negative ease at the high bust, and I agree with that completely. Great pattern, beautiful for a solid yarn or a semi-solid, so that texture really shines up here. If you're using a speckled or a variegated, that texture isn't really going to show. It'd still be beautiful, but I just love for texture to really show. All right, last up is the Nicole tank by Kate Oates. And this is a beautiful tank top with a lace bottom. Just under the bust is where the lace starts, so the lace is all the way down. So if you like a project that's going to keep you engaged, this is one that I would definitely recommend. It is done out of a light fingering, 31 stitch gauge on a US 2 needle or a 2.75, and there is a hook involved, so I guess some kind of finishing, and that is 3.25 millimeter. Or USD. Yardage is somewhere around 700 to 1800 yards. The sizes are extra small up to a 4XL. So this one is once again very size inclusive. The bust finished chest measurements are 27 to 57 inches, and 1 inch is shown with approximately 1 inch of positive ease. Me being me, I would go with either my exact upper bust or a little smaller. But yes, that is beautiful. Beautiful. So that is my roundup. I did want to just shine a light on some designers and patterns that I think are gorgeous and just didn't get or don't get enough attention. I am going to start doing more of these types of videos because I do think it's important to shine a light on these other designers that have gorgeous designs and they just get lost amongst all of the larger designers. So with all of that said, if you made it to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out with me. It really does mean a lot to me, giving us a space where we can hang out with kindred spirits and chat about something that we are very passionate about. If you enjoyed this video, I will say again, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help. It doesn't cost you anything. It only takes a second. So give me a thumbs up real quick, and I would love to have you subscribe so that every time one of my videos goes out, you get a notification and we can hang out and have fun again. So that is it for today. Please comment below and let me know which one is your favorite. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.